Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and all in between, to part one of the life and suffering of Sir Bronte, where we take the conspirator route. So I'm going to be doing this in tangent with my clergy playthrough, so you'll see some different options as well as how it all plays out in the long term. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. I'll also be approaching this from a totally introductory point of view, so if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, you don't need to rewatch them to catch up. I'll be playing it like it's my first time. So, you hold the faith of a single man in your hands. You will follow his life from birth to death. Your choices shall define who Sir Brante will grow up to be. You will decide his personality, social status, and what mark he'll leave on history. With every step he takes at your behest, Sir Brante's character will change and evolve. Your decisions will close some doors for him, but open many others. The world of Sir Brante's birth is a ruthless realm, where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Be ready to accept that Sir Brante cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you chose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. Every victory will be a struggle, a path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. This is how you will create a gripping and unique tale for your hero. What will become of your Sir Bronte, his loved ones, and his world? It all depends on you.
The story of my life remains written on these pages, but my fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, every person I met made me what I am. Could I have taken a different path? Could I have found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
The life and suffering of Sir Bronte in the times of the fall of the Archnean Empire. So we already know that the blessed Archnean Empire is going to fall, or something is going to happen. So this is going to be our main screen for the whole game, and you'll see on the side we have different panels that we can access as we go through the game, and they open up later on. So it's mainly a reading simulator and a choose your own adventure style thing. So chapter 1, at the end of time. Your fingers are stained with ink, your breathing goes ragged, your hands are shaking, yet the words begin appearing on the page before you one by one, clinging together to form a circle of your own life, a chronicle of your own life. Who are you, and how did you reach this end? You were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Archnean Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth. Whether human or Archnean, nobleman, priest, or low-born commoner, all bend to the divine will of the twin gods. And each life is naught but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as a merciless wave, binding together days that are thrice dead and gone. The dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital, years of peace teeming with life and a war drenched in blood, high ranks and lowly deeds, opulent palaces, secretive city backstreets, fields of blood, and faces. So many faces of the people you held dear, the people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink erupting onto the page. With your every step you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved in your youth, the fruits of your struggle, the consequences of your sacrifice, all of it led you here, to the end of your time. And every choice had a price. Now, years and years later, the crossroads of your life echo in your memory, the pain and joy inextricably intermingled. Could you have taken a different path, chosen a different calling, found a different place in the world? You have the power to alter the very course of history. Now, on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt. seeking answers to the last and most crucial question of all. Your life. Of all the paths in life, why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate, or was your life shaped by forces beyond your control? What determines a man's destiny? So the character we're going to play, Sir Isaac Bronte, this time around, is a man who makes his own destiny. We have a few options. The man himself. Your life has always been yours to live. You made your own destiny. The world around him shapes me. I believe in a higher power, or there is no destiny. Human life is an exercise in chance. We're going to say the man himself chooses his destiny. You can hear death's footsteps drawing near. You square your shoulders and take a deep, full breath. You have found your final answer. What is destiny other than a long chain of your own actions and decisions? No matter what happened in your life, you always had a choice. You lived the life you deserved. Only you can answer for it. But are you right about this? Is this all true? To learn the truth, you will have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a man named Isaac Brante will live once more. And now we get a glimpse at the overlook of our entire life. We've got 5 stages: childhood, adolescence, youth, peacetime, and the revolt. And we're going to live through all of these, hopefully, and not die. Year 1118, Chapter 1, Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You are but a small child, learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you, so many feats and faults, so many fateful choices to come. Yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? Prologue, Growing Up. In chapters childhood, adolescence, and youth, you will live through your hero's coming of age. You will shape the protagonist's personality, his qualities and relationships. By the end of prologue, you will determine the estate and future occupation of your hero. Only in adulthood will he start to influence the world around him, and even the ultimate fate of the empire. Who will Isaac Brante grow up to be? It's your call. So the game also gives you an overview of each chapter and the potential events that can occur, as well as what the conditions are to meet with them, although they can be a bit spoilery, so I'm going to avoid looking at them as best I can. And as you can see, we've unlocked these new panels on the side. So Destiny, which is the overview of the chapter itself. In every chapter, there are a number of events waiting to happen that involve your personal path, your family, your relationships, and even the empire itself. Whether or not these events will take place depends on a number of circumstances. Which events should you strive for, and which should you avoid? That is up to you. We've got our personality, so we're Isaac Brante. So each chapter also has its own personal qualities. So for childhood, we're just focusing on perception and determination. For this particular character, I want to try and make them both around inquisitive level for perception, and around resolute for that as well. So perception represents how attentive you are to other people and the world around you, your ability to comprehend and learn. It affects your frame of mind and the skills you have when you grow up. Determination, your perseverance and strength of character, your ability to get your way. It affects your frame of mind and the skills you have when you grow up. Willpower is an interesting one because it is very important. You want willpower so you can do certain actions, but at the same time, I've noticed in playing this game that willpower is easier to come by. Maybe in childhood it's a bit less, but in later stages, there's always opportunities to save willpower. So. But that's our remaining inner strength and readiness for action, and I spend it on difficult choices. We want to keep it around 5 or 10. Most actions cost 5 willpower. 0 is fine, we can act on 0, but if it's in a minus, we can't act. So we're in a low-born estate, we're 0 years of age, we're growing up. And in this game, you can have 4 deaths. You can have 3 lesser deaths, and then you have your true death, which will be explained more in the story. So deaths. After suffering a lesser death, one is reborn. One who dies a true death faces the judgment of the twin gods. We have a quick look at the House of Bronte. So currently, our reputation is we have tarnished honor, the honor of your family and position in high society. It affects how the nobility treats your family. So we can decide what we want to do with that. Do we care about our family's honor? Maybe not. We could become a glorious house. And same with wealth, our financial state. We're kind of moderate for now, which is good. We're kind of on 5, quite close to being affluent. And unity is our family coming together, how close and trusting our family is, and it affects the fate of your family members. So right now they're quite peaceful, although anything could lead us straight into disagreements. And the heir is Stefan Brante, who we'll learn about later on. And then our family tree. So the members of the Brante family, who they are, their current position, and their attitude towards me. So we have our grandfather, Gregor Bronte. I'll read all the kind of side passages and so on in a later episode. I want to get straight into it. But we have Gregor Bronte, who's a grandfather, and his son is Robert Brante, who's our father. So his ex-wife is Amalia Elborn, who died, and together they had one son, Stefan, who is the heir to the Brante family. But our father also has a relationship with our mother, Lydia Brante. So between those two, they had us, but our mother also has Gloria, who's our sister, but she doesn't have the same dad as us. So we have 2 step siblings. That's enough information for now about the kind of systems, and they'll be explained as we go on, and we'll learn more about them in action. So, personal life. And this just basically gives us an update of what's going on and what to expect in the next chapter. Basically everything I've just said, and all these screens are unlocked for us, and we can dive straight in. Birth. At first, there was nothing. No time, no sensation, nothing but darkness and void. But then a will breathed life into nothingness. Matter and spirit were set in motion. History began its march. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory. You are lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You are not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are a part of them, and they are a part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extend their hands towards you. There are 2 of them, the ones who made you form from their own cells and brought you into this world. They are united, yet as they lean closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel their differences within you, struggling against each other. The first figure is soft and emphatic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from it wraps you head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth from it is never ending. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection, and merciless punishment from every misdeed. Yet there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing ever stronger within you. A soft open palm, a strong closed fist, a lingering distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand into the world. So on my noble playthrough of this game, I didn't have the consequences option ticked on, which means that I can see what each option will do. It'll give me a personal perception, determination, or willpower. But for my clergy and my lotless character, I'm choosing to do that. Really, that's kind of the clergyman, that's the noble, and that's the shadow. That's the lotless conspirator, which is the playthrough I'm doing at the minute. But I don't want to risk or give up a point here. So because I haven't done it before, I'm going to reach out to the fist and get determination up. You place a tiny hand on the second figure's closed fist. We don't need willpower really at the minute, but determination is good. The fist is stiff, coarse, and even unpleasant to touch, but this firm hand belongs to your father. A tiny newborn, you are helpless before the full-grown man. Your little hand practically challenges him and his strength, and he accepts the challenge. Your father's fist opens. His hand strokes your little hand gently, if somewhat awkwardly. It is a tender gesture, a glimpse into something he will seldom let show in the years to come. So, we're already just one away from becoming active. I'm moving away from spineless. Our birth, in the year 1118. Your life in this world begins. How would you live it? We're now 1 year old. It's 1119. Hide and seek. As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize father by his heavy breath and strong, cold hands. He rarely visits you. Hello there, little Isaac Bronte. Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. My, you're growing so quickly, my child. There are 2 more children in the family, named Stefan and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and gently holds your hand as you learn to take your first steps. Stefan likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you into the air. Oh look, this is your brother and sister. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together, but I'll always be in charge because you were born a commoner. Be quiet, you. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby Isaac, let's go play in the yard. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's hand with another as they help you walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky far above and away from you is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It is so bright it hurts to look at. Why are you staring at the shining pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know. Hey, I want to play hide and seek. He's just a little baby. How's he gonna play? Then you hide him and I'll try to find both of you. You have no idea what they're talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stefan and Gloria glance at each other. Then your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes and starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. The light from that light stick on the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground and puts a finger to her mouth for some reason, and then she's gone. You can no longer hear Stefan's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? So we can cry loudly and get some willpower, find our way home, or sit here and wait. Let's find our way home. We're quite a determined individual. We get up off the ground and start crawling through the bushes to find our way back home. You get up on your feet, swaying a little bit. Carefully you take a first step, then lose your balance and plop down on the ground again. But you are determined. You get up again and keep walking in the direction Gloria went. You walk out of the bushes and further toward the wall of the house, and then the most tender and gentle hands in the whole world embrace you and pick you up. Mother has found you. There you are. You lean on Mother's chest and hold onto her with your arms. You want her to know that you came here all by yourself without any help. She pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears. Stefan is staring at his feet. You hug Mother tightly. She is here now. And we're now active, that's pretty good. But I don't want to just focus on determination, we want to kind of have a broad spectrum. We're now 2 years old, and it's 11:20. The Great Descent. Another memory. You are still a little child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today is out of the ordinary. Father is busy around the house giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day, the kitchen has been abuzz with work, and there are solemn, gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your older brother Stefan is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to your sister Gloria. My son, today is the great descent. We honor the day when the twin gods descended to us. We must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do everything your sister says for now. Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys there, no chairs, even the carpet has been taken away. There is nothing there but a bare wooden floor. Today we're not allowed to go to any other rooms, and we'll be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the great descent, everyone must be where they belong. It is quiet, unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You are sitting on the cold floor, confused, with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice, a lonely sound in the empty room. It is a little song that Mother taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. When the twins came down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. Nobles rule and bravely fight. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand. Guide us by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil. Always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you were born. To the day when you pass on. Know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere. You're transfixed by the tune. Apologies for the singing. Gloria notices your gaze and smiles, and a smile creeps across her face. You like the rhyme, don't you, Isaac? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They are brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? That's it. You can see the shining pillar anytime from anywhere in the world. So a bit of background about this game. There are gods, there are 2 gods, the twins, and they are real. They exist. And the shining pillar we seen as a kid in the last event is basically when you die, if you've lived your life according to your particular lot, you'll go up to the top of the pillar. If you don't and you go outside your lot, you'll stay at the end of the pillar and never be accepted by the gods. If you follow your lot as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar, and if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. You and I are lowborn. Mom is a commoner too, so the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard. Understand? The priests and the nobles have other lots. The nobles fight and rule over everybody. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and then teach everybody. Gloria stares at you intently. Did you get it, silly? Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in. The room starts to glow like the sky. From this light emerge 2 figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulder, the other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your eyes, unable to turn away. Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verses once more. Know your lot and know the prayer. You feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You feel words condensing within you from the light. But what will these words be? Finish the song properly and get perception, or sing the last line wrong. I kind of forgot. I don't want to just gun for determination and get it up really high. I want to get perception up too, but because I haven't actually chosen to sing the last line wrong before, I'm going to go with that one and then focus on perception later on. You shout words of your own instead of the last line of the song. Screw the injustice of the twins. Know your lot and know the prayer. The lots are lies told everywhere. You shout these words, but you have no idea how they came to you. The shining pair standing behind her back turn to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing you from top to bottom. When the moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming from the window. Now Gloria is staring at you. You see disappointment in her eyes. Isaac, that's not the way the song ends. Why did you ruin it? We're now active and very close to being resolute. You shrug, quite pleased with your cleverness. (11:21). 3 years old. Spring, the origin. You are starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Your family is an unusual one. Your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His is a title earned through great service, but your mother is a low-born woman, a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner, but father says you may yet come unto nobility. You learn to read at an early age. Together with mother, you read and learn by heart the many poems about the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again, you try to discern the shapes of the gods in this strip of holy light that shines in the sky all day and night, but the light is too blinding to gaze upon. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an insurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb and even jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high, but even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Your older brother Stefan now spends less and less time playing with Gloria and you. Playing with commoners is beneath a nobleman to be, he says. So Gloria calls him names, and Stefan pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother soon. And a little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks him to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stefan gets frustrated. There are too many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon you will be an older brother too, and it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be, a boy or a girl, you will love them the most. When Father comes back from his trip, he reads his adult books aloud for you. You find those stories of war, generals and rebellions, quite enchanting, and Father approves of your fascination. Study hard and maybe one day you'll become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword. But first you need to grow up. Growing up, the concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. Year 1121, The Lot of Suffering. So you probably get a gist of how the game works now. This is basically it, and we're deciding the story, but so much happens, it's incredible. So, you keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You are both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. A scratch on your hand stings a little. Stefan is standing next to you, sniffling from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but he ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. You see Mother's shoes walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You would rather not see her angry. She is not as gentle to you these days. Why did you hurt Stefan, Isaac? You stammer out an explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare he pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm going to hit him with a real sword. Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and yet you can still feel her concern for you. Even if Stefan hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Our lot is to suffer, but your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he'll rule over the likes of us. If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot, and the sooner you learn it, the better off your entire family will be. Now Stefan looks at you in triumph. You look up at Mother in fear, not sure what to do next. I could demand an explanation, why things are like this, deny our guilt, or accept our punishment. I think we'll do this. I mean, I want an explanation as to why, but at the same time this will help relations with my mum and Stefan, which I think is quite important, and unfortunately that is the way things are, so it's best we, for now, stick with the injustice. We accept our punishment. We shouldn't have hit him back, but we didn't know. You look down and agree with what she had just said. You are ready to be punished. You start apologising to Stefan, but he turns his back on you. Before you can finish, Mother takes your hand and leads you away. You do not want to follow her. Your hands are getting sweaty and your legs are growing heavy. Then suddenly she stops and bends down to look closer to you, look you straight into the eye. My son, I see you understand our lot now. We do not defy, we suffer. That is our only path to the twins after all our deaths, our only way to reach eternal bliss atop the peak of the pillar. Our virtue is meekness. We are humble in our words. We work hard. We think what is right. You have shown all of this. I'm so proud of you. She hugs you and you finally release the pent-up tears. You feel much more at ease now. So Stefan is sympathetic to us now, which is good. So we learn a little bit about him. He is our father's son from his first marriage and a noble by birth. From a young age he has been striving to be first in all things and demonstrate his superiority to the family. You are flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again, but you feel the touch of the divine law with each blow. And we get a bit about her mother. She's grateful. A humble commoner from the outskirts of Anizot, neither her lowly origins nor the fact that your grandfather directly forbade the marriage stops your father from taking her into his home. She now manages his household and raises Robert's children. Your mother is devoted to her faith and insists that her children observe their lots. She's grateful. Your mother remembers what you did for her. But my willpower is now -5, which isn't great because it means we can't act in the future if we need to. So we need to get an event that either gives us more willpower now or gives us a chance to relax. So we should get one more event done for this episode. Gloria's rhymes. Mother mostly stays in her chamber now. With each passing day she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she smiles all the time. One day she takes your hand and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside her. You will have another brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under the evening light of the pillar, and she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey Isaac, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mommy hears it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stefan? Our judge is my second father. In the past, I had another. My mother says the twins are great. Says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around. Please don't fall down on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell them it is mine. But today your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that lived there, but then she vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She's holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You are absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can decide that for myself, Mom. No, you cannot. It has already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny, and I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learned how to properly care for children. Had your disgraceful former father kept me in his house, you could have been born a noble, but that is not our fate, and you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house, the scribbled sheets flying into the fireplace. Gloria sobs violently. You are a bystander to this scene, unsure of how to act. So because we don't have perception, we can't offer to write rhymes with her. Because we don't have willpower, we can't comfort her. So we can leave the room, which will increase our willpower, or we can complain about our sister, which will give us determination, but I don't want to do that. Let's leave the room and regather some willpower. It's not great, this option, but you retreat to your room without saying a word. The path of least resistance. You slip out of the sitting room and go back to the playroom before the scene reaches a conclusion. You can still hear Mother yelling and Gloria crying behind your back as you leave. Back in the playroom, you start building a formidable fortress out of wooden blocks to busy yourself. If only you had toy soldiers to storm it. A little later, the playroom door opens. You're not mad at me, are you? You shake your head. Can I stay with you for a while? You nod and return to the game. Gloria sits on the floor in a faraway corner of the room. So that's good, so we've got 5, which gives us 2 options to act in the future. But we didn't get a chance to improve our relationship with our sister. (11:22). We're 4 years old. Winter, the coming sacrament. Mother is in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he is very busy with his important job. He is a judge after all. One day you decide to ask Mother about Stefan and Gloria. How come they are brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stefan, you see. He's the son of another mother, and Gloria is the daughter of another father. Come now, don't knit your brow like that, you'll understand when you're older. How is that even possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother called Stefan and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them. At first, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave, but then she relents. You are told to sit still, be quiet, and remember every word you hear. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins, first to the elder on the right, then to the younger on the left. Stefan, you're a nobleman to be, so walk along the side paved with marble, where the benches are. Gloria, you walk along the sharp side. When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stefan kissed the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with the lash. Do not be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is the blessing of your lot. Gloria doesn't like the idea of the lash. There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You were told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? On the next day, they take your brother and sister to the temple. You run toward them when they finally come back. The back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Stefan is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like all is the same, and yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. Our relationship with Stefan has gone down because he thinks he's better than us now. And our family unity has gone down as well to disagreements because of it. Our brother and sister sacrament, year 1122. Your siblings, Stefan and Gloria, took their first sacrament at the temple. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you think about the decisions and would you have made some differently. And I will see you in the next video. Take care and have a good day.